guys, welcome to the Florida Mortgage Gal channel. Today we are going to be answering some questions that you guys have asked. So let's get started. Alrighty, so the first question. When did you get into the mortgage business? So I got licensed in February of 2018. Previous to that, I had bought my first property in 2017, I want to say. So I'd already been around it as far as going through the process myself, but obviously I really didn't know much more besides what they were telling me. And I knew that I wanted to learn about real estate. You can listen to, I have a whole nother video about my journey in real estate, my own personal experience. But I got licensed in 2018. I started working with the same company I'm with now. I've been with them this whole time. They're absolutely awesome. So I started working with another loan officer. His name's Mike. He was my main mentor. He taught me a lot about the business. Now we're actually partners over our office together. My next question, what part of Florida are you from? I am currently in Palm Beach County, Florida. I'm in the Jupiter, Palm Beach Gardens area. I've been all over Florida. I work in a lot of different Florida markets. I'd say my areas in Florida that I have the greatest presence and concentration, or the place that I know the best, are going to be Palm Beach County, Martin County, St. Lucie County, Hala area, so Marion County and a little bit outside of that. The West Coast as well, Tampa, obviously South Florida, so Broward and Miami-Dade County, a ton there too. Those are probably my main centers. Oh my goodness, in Orlando. I'm from Orlando, so I know Orange County, Seminole County, Osceola County. That's my bread and butter as well. I know the area very well. My family's still there. A bunch of my friends are there, so I'm up there all the time. Next question. Coffee or tea? Well, coffee's probably my drug of choice, but I am trying to swap over to tea. I do love tea. It's just, I love me some coffee. I'm addicted to my Nespresso machine, so it's a problem. What part of Florida do you think is the best to invest in currently? Ugh. That's a tough question. That depends. That depends on so many different types of things. Are you trying to make it a seasonal rental? Are you trying to make it an annual lease? Okay, so here's the breakdown. If you want something that's going to appreciate a ton, you need to buy in an area that's undeveloped and plan to do a long hold on it, because you can't time crazy events in the market. So times that people saw a lot of appreciation, people saw a ton of appreciation during COVID, right? Because prices skyrocketed in a year, inside of a year. So there was a ton of appreciation, 20, 30, 40% return on their investment just that year prior, but you couldn't prepare for that. You couldn't time for that unless you were a savant or this was a full-time job for you and you were very invested mentally into real estate and studying the markets and different factors that were coming and stuff like that. So if you are looking for something that you can control or that you can predict, if you invest in an area that's up and coming, you're going to have a higher return on investment. But again, it's probably a longer term hold. If you want something for short-term rentals, I would go to anything that has year-round demand. So anything in Central Florida I like, because obviously you've got the theme parks and Disney and all of that fun stuff. South Florida, there's a ton of desire to go to Miami for short term. Now, it might be a little bit difficult to find a place that will allow you to Airbnb in Miami-Dade County, but there definitely are places. It's a vacation spot. It's a destination spot. Same thing with Tampa, and same thing with the area that I'm in Palm Beach Gardens and Jupiter area. These are destination spots that tend to have better year-round demand. Obviously, you need to make sure that the township is okay with you Airbnb-ing the property, so you don't buy something as an Airbnb and find out that you can't rent it out. So obviously that would be a big problem. So, and then we've talked about this before too. I like places that have low overhead or low operating costs. So if you have connections with a property manager in the area or connections with someone that's going to look over your property, you know, that's something that you can prioritize. I also like areas in the middle of Florida because they do have less insurance costs. They tend to also have less HOA dues. I mean, a lot of things on the coast, you have obviously the high HOAs on the waterfront condos, but even in the area around it, you'll tend to have a lot of HOAs. You see a ton of HOAs in Broward and Palm Beach County. Not as many in Martin and St. Lucie County. It's just the way that it is. So if you don't have the overhead of the HOAs and you can have lower insurance in the center of Florida, there's definitely some benefit for that. I would prioritize those more as long-term rentals, again, unless you are next to an attraction. So if you're gonna be in North Central Florida, for example, you know, you might not have people that are driving an hour to go to the theme parks. You might have, you know, a seasonal nurse rental or something like that. We talked about it before. Highways, hotels, hospitals. I like buying rentals near those as well for some of the long-term stay nurses, that kind of thing, traveling nurses, etc. How do I get started planning my real estate portfolio? There's a couple videos I've already recorded that break down different real estate investment techniques. Some of them are a little bit heavier than others depending on your level of expertise and your level of knowledge, familiarity with real estate investing in the market. I have a couple strategies and I'll put links to them. We'll put one link here and one link here. It's really difficult to give a general answer. I would get with a CPA, I would get with a loan officer, I would get with a real estate agent that you trust that knows the markets that you're looking into. Just starting by getting to know the areas that you like, the areas that you can control your investment in a little bit better, at least have a better understanding on your percentage of return or whatever it is. Start figuring out which areas you're going to have a better return on investment, those kind of things. Outside of that, I mean, you really want to start understanding tax law and understanding some tax strategies or tax saving strategies. I think that's one of the best ways that you can make money in real estate. At least I should say that's one of the best advantages to owning real estate and to having real estate is the tax savings. I mean, there's people that have their whole tax strategy based off, or their whole income strategy based off buying a property, rehabbing it, doing a cash out refi, taking that money that's really tax-free money because it's not taxed as income. You're putting that in your pocket and you rinse and repeat. Now, there's a lot to that little strategy right there, but that is some people's strategy when it comes to real estate, and it's actually a great strategy to avoid paying a lot of taxes, and income taxes tend to be one of the way that we lose wealth really quickly. So I would definitely start with understanding tax code better, tax savings, and working with a financial planner that has a great understanding of real estate and that actually can team up well with a loan officer, knowledgeable loan officer that's actually taking the time to talk to you about these things, that's willing to sit down for an appointment for an hour or so and to go through different pros and cons of scenarios. Sorry, that was probably a little bit of a rambling answer there, but hopefully helpful. We'll do one more question. It's a question that I added in. How do you get a hold of me? So you can go to my website, flmortgagegal.com. You can submit a request to get in contact with me there. You can find me at Florida Mortgage Gal on Instagram. You can drop me a comment in any of these videos and I'll get in touch with you. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day. Bye.